Ladies and gentlemen on YouTube, it's the Natural Born Thriller here. Welcome to All Elite Wrestling Reviews, where it is giving you results of AEW Dark and Dynamite. And obviously, this was from last week, and I apologize for this late review of this, where it is I'm about to get on ready to talk about here. Plus, I'll be talking about the women's tournament for AEW, where it is to the women's championship eliminator tournament, who's going to be facing Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's Championship title at Revolution. Plus, updates about of that as well, which is to everything that has unfortunately changed around due to circumstances that happen. We'll get to more of that later. Once you get into it. So what I'm gonna do right now, folks, is I'm gonna you know get rid of just do what I gotta do here, and yeah, let me just see how it works out from here. I remember how it was done before. Okay, I remember now. So don't go anywhere, folks. I'll be right back. And here we are. So obviously we're starting with AEW Dark first from February 16th, 2021 at Day's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. Your commentators were Taz and Excalibur. On commentary, you had Andy Gogo, and then Mortensu Hill was on commentary later on. We'll get to him later. Which was funny how that was done too. I'll say that for later. To get out of the way, the Tomar Wrestling was 12 matches. And this was short episode of AEW Dark. We might have that for quite a while because usually it'd be up to 2 hours or almost close to 3 hours, you know. But in this case, it was only like an hour and a few. So yeah, the opening match was the IWGP United States Heavyweight Champion John Moxley, and he goes up against John Cruz. John Cruz got the a jump on Moxley, and then Moxley ends up making like um getting his stuff in afterwards. And then in the end, it was Moxley getting the win with a chokehold here. And he got onto John Cruz, and that was it. So yeah, not much about it. This match. It was quick to the point, short to the point, and then we moved on. Um, Now I can't remember if John Moxley cut a promo on this show, but if he did, it was probably something towards Kenta, pertains to that match on that's coming on February 26th, 2021. Now, again, either it was on the show Dark or it was probably on Dynamite, but I guess we'll find out about when we get close to it. But other than that, um, yeah, that's something to look forward to this coming Friday on New Japan World on IJPW Strong, which is going to be a special event called the New Beginnings USA. And it's fitting too because it's going to be John Moxley defend his IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship title against Kenta, who's got the United States Championship briefcase, or gets to a contract in there that gives him a guaranteed shot of the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship title. And yeah, there you go. I'm going to say about that. And all I can say is again, I'm looking forward to it. Then we get to Bear Country. Bear Boulder and Bear Bronson going up against Chaos Project, Dr. Luther, and Serpentico. Uh, Bear Country got the win here. Not much to say about this match, folks. Chaos Project is not doing it for me anymore, unfortunately. Um, Dr. Luther is just older. He's beaten up after his death matches from Japan from years ago, and it's really bringing down Serpentico of his level of how good he can be. So not much to say about that. Saint Patrick. I mean Saint Patrick. Well, it is Saint Patrick, but he's Jake Saint Patrick and Sag Scott. They go up against the Butcher and the Blade, being coming by the Bunny. This was a squash tag team match, by the way. The Butcher and the Blade, obviously, they won. So not much to say about that. Shanna versus Renee Michelle. Yeah, I remember I talked about Renee Michelle before. She's beautiful, good looking, nice body, and everything and all. The problem is she's a terrible wrestler, and also she's married to Drake Madrick from WWE. But yeah, but she's a terrible wrestler, and I mean not all of it is bad. I mean I'll tolerate her more than Brandy Rose. I'll even tolerate her more even to certain women's wrestlers that I can't stand. And I'm saying to myself, you just are not good, you know. Excuse me, folks. Sorry about that, folks. Had to take care of something. But anyways, back to Renee and Michelle. Like I said, you know, I said some good qualities about her, except of her wrestling. But again, when it comes to seeing who I see in the ring wrestling, I will see Renee Michelle wrestle a lot more than Brandy Rose and any one other women's that. And I'll mention this woman as well later on, once we get to that. Just keep a heads up on that one. But I watched this match and everything between Shanna and Brandy Michelle, and it was decent. What it was until we get to the finish. So Shanna, uh, oh, Shanna, was just her being a big, huge fan of Dragon Ball Z, where she's wearing the orange and red, I mean the orange and blue outfit that reminds us of Goku. Pretty cool. And this one, she basically was got and she got the colors of white and blue, and but just to Vegeta, also from Dragon Ball Z. So yeah, I love that. So as far as like I said, the match, as I said before, it was decent, and until the finish, because we get to the finish where Shanna goes for her dragon, her tiger suplex. I'm going to say that's her finish move, except for one thing. When she hit it, her name is Michelle did not take it right, and I was saying to myself, how the hell do you screw that up? And obviously, this isn't the first time that a move like that wasn't taken right before. Um, Shannon did it before to someone. I'm assuming it was to Maddie uh, Re- Reckon Harvey's her last name. Ronkowski, I guess that's her last name. I'm assuming that it was the same. It was her that she did too as well. But then again, I think it was part of someone else. I think it was I got remember who it was that Shannon did, that Shannon did beforehand. And then when we get to Renee Michelle, Renee Michelle, she may look awkward, but despite that, China got the win, right, which rightfully so. But yeah, there you go. Number six with that. Eric James and VSK versus Dark Order's Alex Reynolds and John Silver. Not much to say about the match. It was a quick match, you know, basically a squash tag team match, to say the least, with um Reynolds and Silver winning, obviously. And not much to say about that. Baron Black and John Skeller, they went up against Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus with Marco Stunt and his girl at ringside. And this was short too, folks. A short tag team match here. And I think to myself, maybe that's why AEW Dark wasn't a long show, because these matches were way short, way too short. So Jurassic Express won, with no trouble at all. It was nothing much to say about this match. But I'll get to some one matches that was very short too, which I'll get to when we get to it. Then we get to, yeah, I think I mentioned it before. Jurassic Express one. Then we get to Ty Conti being called by Anna Jay, taking on for Vixen, and Ty Conti, she made it work of her, and also some good offense from sort of good offense from for Vixen's part of it as well. But in the end, it was Ty Conti getting the win, roughly so, because Ty Conti is one is going to be in the tournament, not for Vixen. But based on what happened, what pertains to I'm about to bring up pretty soon, I wish Vixen was part of that tournament as well. But again, we'll get to when we get to it. I also need to mention something about Anna Jay, who's at ring. I mean, she wasn't at ringside for Ty Conti. Um, not that I recall, but I remember she was being out there for her at one point, and then Ty Conti ends up doing her thing. Other than that, um, yeah, I got to bring in Anna Jay later on. Which that's gonna be a little cliffhanger there once we get to that part of while I'm about to mention Anna Jay later on. But anyways, then we get to Eddie Kingston versus Aaron Solo. Match itself, it was longer. I was expecting on this match to be a little short too, but it was actually a little longer than I thought. It was decent match between the two. First of all, I just want to say my apologies to Aaron Solo. Where it gets to the situation with Aaron Solo and Bailey, because for those who don't know, Aaron Solo and Bailey had called their engagements, and they just wanted just to be friends, and to remain as friends. And it's unfortunate, a relationship that these two had since they got together. I guess for about 7 to 8 years, maybe they've been together, and then they decided to call it off, unfortunately. So it's what it is, I guess. Don't know what was the reason why. Don't know the reason behind it, but hey, that's their business. That's their personal lives. That's if they chose that way, that path, then can't fault them. So hopefully, Aaron Solo finds someone, and hopefully he'll make the better of it. No animosities between Aaron Solo and Bailey. So it was because they're still friends at the end of the day. So there's no hard feelings. But in the end of that, as part of the match, like I said, it was decent between Aaron Solo and A Kingston. A Kingston gets the win, and there you go. Then we get to Ricky Starks being committed by Hook going up against Casey Navarro. So the bell rings. Navarro runs to Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks goes for a running spear, and 1, 2, 3. Eight. Wait, I want to say it's 8 seconds. It was more like about 4 to 5 seconds the match lasted. No joke, folks. That's how the match played out. Ricky starts going for a spear out of nowhere to Casey Navarro, and about 5 seconds later, it's over. Ricky Starks wins in a quick absolute squash. That's what it was. And then he ends up being on commentary after that. Moving on. There's not much to say about that. Then we get to Brandon Cutler, uh, taking on this new guy, making his AEW debut on Dark, called Mister Mysterioso. I guess how you call him, Mysterioso. He has a good look. He's a luchador, obviously, and I thought he was pretty good. And then Brandon Cutler and Mysterioso had a good match here. Obviously, in the end, it was Brandon Cutler to win the match. So, and Brandon Cutler may have been busted open from the nose, but still in the match. Next match was another short match, folks. It was Rising, and y'all know how I feel about Rising. Um, don't find any appeal of him at all. And he goes up against Powerhouse Hobbs, being coming by Hook, and you know what that means when Hobbs is in the match, especially being in a jobber match like this, especially Rising is a jobber. Hobbs goes for a splash in the corner, basically doing a jump start. Goes for the town business, which I'm assuming is supposed to be his I can't remember if that's supposed to be his power bomb or his spine buster move, whatever it is. But or maybe that on that where press into a power slam maybe. I can't remember how it was, but either way, it doesn't matter. Powerhouse Hobbs Powerhouse Hobbs won the match. So this match that's about what almost close to 10 to 15 seconds. And another quick match that didn't even last a minute. They didn't even last 30 seconds to say the least. And then the main event was Nick Camarado being accompanied by Dustin Rose and Gucci Marshall as Nick Camarado goes up against Fuego Docel. Match itself, it was decent. In the end, obviously, it was Nick Camarado winning the match, this main event match, and that was it. And no more to say about that. So, short episode of AEW Dark. No much to say, and not much to really discuss of it. So, my overall rating for the show, I'm gonna go with mm, I'll go with a 6.5 out of 10. And that will conclude your AEW Dark results from February 16th, 2021. And now, if you all excuse me, I'm gonna set up routines to the AEW Dynamite results from February 17th, 2021. So stay tuned, folks, and I'll be right back. And I am back, folks, as we get ready to do another results for AEW, which is AEW Dynamite results from February 17th, 2021. And they place Jacksonville, Florida. Their commentators were good old JR Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur. Now, let's get to how the show opened up here. The show opened up with a tag team match that will feature the Hangman and the Page and Big Money Matt Hardy versus TH2, which is Jack Evans and Hanago. And match itself, it was solid at best. Basically, no, TH2, I meant to say. TH2, they were lacking in some spots and everything in the match. And yeah, just a little, it was a little messy, a little sloppy. Hangman and Matt Hardy though they did good though, and obviously in the end they won. So Matt Hardy after the match he got a microphone and basically says to Paige, he was on fire and all that, basically praising him, kissing his ass and all that, and Matt Hardy says that he will give 30% to all that, or his to be part of the Matt Hardy brand. Say how he's proud of Paige signing with him and all that. But then Paige reveals, because remember what happened last time. Paige basically he swapped papers, saying that he learned from you know the Dark Order, just to the wrong papers. But this is what it was revealed. So he reveals that Matt Hardy has he had an extra roll of papers in his jacket, and he signed that something that Matt Hardy didn't know he signed, because Matt Hardy was quickly just faxed it to his you know to his lawyers and all that. So he basically had one of the Jaguar legal team mascot coming out. And keep in mind, this is the Hangman and the Page bring out this Jaguar mascot to bear the papers of the contract. The one that Matt Hardy and Page signed. The one that Page had in his coat or his jacket at the time. So Matt Hardy said, well, yeah, you know, isn't you know that isn't a talent contract, but it's actually for a, a match. Basically, it was Matt Hardy reading the contract, basically, for everyone to hear, and saying that it's gonna be Matt Hardy and Page at Revolution, and then Matt Hardy loses, he'll get 100% of Matt Hardy's earnings the first quarter of 2021 to the Hangman and the Page. And Matt Hardy's like, what you call me and all that and everything and all that. Basically, um, you know, the roles was reversed differently. This time, Anna Page con Matt Hardy instead of Matt Hardy conning the Hangman Anna Page. So, you know, the Hangman Anna Page got one up on Matt Hardy, and then Matt Hardy said, "Okay, fine, I'll do that. Except one thing, you gotta put something on the line too. So, how about you? If I win, then you have to give me your 100% of your earnings of the first quarter of 2021 to me." And then the Hangman Anna Page he agrees to as well. And also Matt Hardy says something slick or whatever. And then the Jaguar mascot attacks the Hangman Adam Page. And I say to myself, wait, what the hell is this? Like, this makes no sense because because keep in mind, the Hangman Adam Page brought out the Jaguar mascot to bring out the contract and everything, right? So when that thinking so maybe it's someone maybe um maybe Brandon Cutler under there, whatever, whatever, or someone that could be friends with with the Hangman, with the Hangman and the Page, right? But instead, when Matt Hardy told the mascot to basically like a sinner, whatever, to be about and a Page from behind, I think so. Wait, this makes no sense. Why would the mascot be on Matt Hardy's side and everything? Unless he paid him off, whatever, or something like that. I don't know. Unless Matt Hardy knew that Hangman and Page may have one up on that, and it's all just an acting out there, right? Just to embarrass the Hangman and Page afterwards. I don't know. It made no sense there, and then it made even more. It didn't make any more sense when this Jaguars mascot revealed himself to being Isaiah Cassidy, and say to myself, okay, this definitely didn't make no sense either way, because again, the Hangman and Page brought him out. Now, not Hangman Page, not knowing who's you know. I'm sorry for that. I'm trying to make some some logical sense out of this and everything about how this unfolded, how this even became a thing. I was just even discussing this whole thing where the mascot was brought out by Hammond and Page, and then Matt Hardy gets a signal to that Jaguar to tackle him the right time, and then he reveals himself to me Isaiah Cassidy. So I'm saying to myself, if that was the case, then why wouldn't the mascot just rip up the contract? You know, that way it wouldn't and it would never be official after the Hangman Page revealed it. I don't know, but at the same time, Matt Hardy you know agrees to it instead of just trying to rip up the contract or whatever. I don't know. It's a mess, folks. And there was no logic in there whatsoever. So then to make it even things not making any more sense and all, you had the hybrid two still out there. Jack Evans and Hennigo. And basically, Matt Hardy says, "I'll give you guys about what thousands of bucks, whatever, to be up on the Hangman Adam Page." And you know, and they agree. And that seems like women, you just have a match. You just been through a match with Matt Hardy. You try to beat him up. To try to embarrass him in this match and all that. And now you're signed with Matt Hardy. I guess it's the heel thing, right? It made no sense at all. But then again, it's all about the money, right? As long as they get the money, they're good. So they be up on the Heyman and Page. I'm thinking to myself, who's gonna help out Adam Page here? All of a sudden, the Dark Order comes out, and they immediately chase away the heels, and that was and, and that was basically it. Oh yeah, I think Hannah Jekyll got beat up a little bit by the Dark Order, but unlike women, this whole thing was a mess. But hey, at least Dark Order came out to help out Heyman and Page, and that was it. And that's all I can say from there. This was so confusing. The segment was so confusing. Everything was confusing in all this. Um, there was no logic at all. There was a few logics there, but a lot of logics there that it just threw me off, and it was bad, terrible. Then we get to Alex Marvez, who interviews the Inner Circle. Ortiz says that this is their first title shot, and basically Ortiz to Santana Ortiz, proud and powerful, getting the first ever tag team title shot in AEW, which is unheard of, folks, because how does that happen? One of the best tag teams coming into AEW and Santana Ortiz, and this since signing with AEW since back in 2019 around the summer, basically around around during the end of the summer, let's say, and we're in 2021, and this is the first time they ever get a tag team title shot. And meanwhile, they're not supposed to be the tag team of Inner Circle, even though they're supposed to be. But Chris Jericho and MJF are a tag team of the Inner Circle, and they're getting the tag title shots at Revolution. Excuse me, folks. Sorry about that, folks. Um. So yeah, they talk about the reason why they didn't get the tag titles the first place because of fear and that. Jericho and MJF had the words in there too. MJF basically claiming that there's no proof of me video recording you or something like that or voice recording with you about basically returning to Sammy Guevara about saying tricking him saying that he hates Chris Jericho and he wants to he wants to basically kick Chris Jericho out and be the leader in the circle or something like that, blah blah. And Jericho basically say, look, we've seen the footage last week and everything, blah 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 and everything. I don't get this, folks. MJF, they're basically making MJF look like an idiot here. Yeah, and credit to MJF, by the way, since him cutting that promo, because he's very good at cutting promos too. He's a very good talking and everything, and a very good heel. But the problem is the cameraman was right there watching MJF recording Sam Caparo to admit something that was not even true about this whole thing. Where at the end of the day, it's MJF is the one who's doing all this just to break up the inner circle, and for whatever reason he wants to do it. You know, I still don't understand why he wants to do that in the first place when he could be doing his own thing. But basically the whole thing is a mess. When you look at it, um, but you make it look at making MJ look like an idiot because when Chris Jericho just said, you know, we saw the videotape from last week and all that, we know, you know, that you did that and all that, blah blah blah, and then and like, it's terrible, folks. It's bad. That was bad. But then it started to go back on track and everything about Proud and Powerful. They're going to become the tag team champions and all that. And I say to myself, yeah, no, they're not. And we'll get to that later. Uh, okay. Folks, let's talk about the recaps and updates pertains to the AW Women's Tournament of the Eliminators. What's Constantine? Okay, here we go. The AW Women's World Championship Eliminator Tournament. I meant to say. First, let's recap what happened with Leah Hirsch and Thunder Rosa. 9 minutes and 2 seconds lasted. Thunder Rosa wins by pinfall, advancing to from away from round of six, the first round, and moving on to the quarterfinals. And we get to the and that's for the American side by the way of the brackets. The second brackets of the first round tournament. The second side I meant to say is the Japanese side. You had Yuka Sakazaki versus Rio Suruga, and it lasted 10 minutes and 10 seconds. With uh Yuka Sakazaki getting the win. And she advances, and obviously she reason why she won because But here's the thing too. I want her to win anyways because she not only she's active for AEW or just the AEW roster, but also I like her character. She's the magical girl, and uh yeah, and she brings a lot to the table too, though. But as far as this match was between the two, between Sakazaki and uh Suruka, it was on one of the most weirdest matches I've ever seen, where they try to take things seriously, but then also they start doing something that was very weird and awkward to watch. Uh, I just didn't find too very fond of it at all. But hey, Yuka Sakazaki won the match, so she advances to the quarterfinals. Then we get to Benny versus uh Emmy. Yeah, Emmy. Let's say Emmy. Sakura. Yeah, I remember Emmy Sakura. She was also active roster of AW. It's still is by the way. And her thing is that she's a fan of the Queen, or to Eddie, to Freddie Mercury, excuse me. And basically, her thing is that she dresses up like Freddie Mercury. And this one, she did dress like a Freddie Mercury, other than wearing the crown and the robe. But I think she made that Max stand too, though. But I can't remember if she did or not. But either way, but yeah, you know, she did her thing too against Benny. Benny, they about right, ex Copper was on commentary for this match, by the way, which is the Japanese side of the tournament, where Benny had a robe that's that was that belongs to Hana Kimura, who unfortunately passed away last year because of cyberbullying, because of you know the show that happened on I can't remember the show of it, but who cares anyway? That show is dead now. But it was given by by the mother of Hana Kimura to Benny to wear. Because I'm assuming that Benny probably knew Hana Kimura and everything. So as far as Benny is, Benny versus Emmy Sakura. this was a good match. And Vinny looked great good. Despite Emmy Sakura was getting the upper hand in this match, but Vinny showed something here too. This is my first time seeing her, and I like her. I hope she gets signed you know to AEW as well. You know, unfortunately, 2 minutes and 30 seconds with Vinny losing. I was hoping that Vinny will win, but same time, I kind of knew that Amy Sakura was going to win because she's active for AEW, and there you go. Not much to say about that. So she wins and she moves on to the quarterfinals to go up against Suya Sakazaki, which we'll get to that when we get to it, folks. Um, then we get to the next match was uh, Maki Ito. Now I've been hearing a lot of buzz about Maki Ito coming in, which is her what she's about. And at first, I finally got to see a glimpse of her. I saw a glimpse of her before, watching a glimpse of it on when she came in have this tournament. And so, you know, I was impressed a little bit. And then also and then pertains to what she's got a lot of social media followers on Facebook, I mean not Facebook, I meant to say Instagram and on Twitter, and like wow, I actually like her. And then once we get to this match here, before we get to the match, she's out there, doing her edges and everything. She's dancing, she's singing. She's known to be a singer. And I'm like, holy shit, I like this. It's very unique. Not see what people are talking about when it comes to Maki Ito. She's one of the cutest in the world. You know, and she goes against another one who's also active to AEW. Not even remembers her, but Rio Mizunami. She was also part of AEW as well when AEW first did their pay-per-views of Double or Nothing. And yeah, and here she is in this match against Maki Ito. It lasted 11 minutes and 15 seconds. Maki Ito in the match here, she was also good in this match here in this match too. And she does one thing where she got hit by Rio, and then she was crying. She's pretending to cry and everything, and then she started doing the whole thing, yeah, that. And oh shit, it kind of reminds me of watching some on anime, like Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, and a lot of anime stuff as well. Which is the silliness and everything. That's what it reminds me of. I like her, and then she loses. Like whoa, wait a minute, are you kidding me? Maki, I mean Maki Ito, she she's getting a lot of buzz for all of every fans I'm hearing it from, and then and they're excited about her being in this tournament, and then she loses. What? I was upset. I was upset, but at the same time, I was like, whatever. Because yeah, at the end of the day, we all know who's gonna win anyways, you know. But at the same time, like, wow, all this buzz on Maki Ito, and she loses. Dis- Disappointing. But to the diehard fans, they were upset. They were holy shit. Like I guarantee you, AEW got her a new one when they had Makito lose that first round. Hopefully, AEW will make up to them because Makito did the interview at one point that she would love to be part of AEW, despite AEW have her eliminated in the first round of the tournament. And then we get to the next match, which is the final round of the tournament, and it was Aja Khan, the legendary Aja Khan, versus uh, Rin Kadukura. Now, I don't know much about Kahadukura, but fortunately, the match lasted only 7 minutes. I don't remember her actually doing much other than making some couple of spots to make some comeback. But at the end of the day, it was Aja Khan's match. Aja Khan was basically dominating the match, and then in the end, she won the match by pinfall. So there you go. Now what to say? and that will conclude the Japanese side of the first round tournament ending. Now let's get to back to AEW here to Routines Dynamite, and then I'll continue more of the brackets of the tournament. And the one I'll talk about right now is the AEW Women's Tournament eliminator first round that continued on with the the USA side of it. A excuse me, NWA Women's World Champion, I meant to say, Serena Deeb versus the returning Riho. And by God, she got a good welcoming. Oh, now obviously, there's not that much crowds there anymore because just during this pandemic, we can never get a full crowd unless we take care of this whole thing. Um, Hopefully the vaccine comes for sooner than later. Um, I mean, I know some of the vaccines are already out there, for instance, COVID-19 and all that, but at the same time, now you know everything, and again, it's going to take time for the vaccine comes in to really take care of this whole thing. It's like at the end of COVID-19. At the end of the day, no. I mean, there'll still be some of it still out there, but at least we could try. You know, but hopefully we can get out of this pandemic thing. So that's all we can say from there. And with Vaseline, hopefully that'll be the end of the pandemic. It's gonna take time though. You know, and then everything will get back to normal. So I was happy that Riho came back, and this match itself here between Riho versus Serena Deeb was pretty damn good. And I was thinking to myself, so is Riho going to lose here? Because I was not, I was, even though Riho coming back and everything, I was thinking to myself, is she going to lose here too? And no, she actually won here. She won with a basically a exchange of roll ups, and Riho got on the very exchange of that. She got the win, and like, oh crap! So they have Riho win here. Oh, like that's cool. Because I was not really expecting her to win here, even though despite they announced her returning here. Which it's been almost a full year since Riho has not been active on AEW. She's been active only on Stardom and other promotions in Japan because unfortunately the pandemic everything went to hell from there. Yeah, so Riho has not been in AEW for a while, but doesn't mean she wasn't wrestling. She was still doing her thing as a wrestler. So the fact that she went over here on Serena Deeb was surprising. So that means she's going to be moving on forward to the quarterfinals. Excuse me, the quarterfinals against Donna Rosa. I was like, oh shit! So I'm actually excited. I'm actually excited for this match now because this will be the first time. I'm assuming this will be the first time we'll see Riho versus Thunder Rosa because I have no knowledge of Thunder Rosa and Riho having a match before. So this will be in AEW this will be the first. So yeah, so as we look at the brackets, back at the brackets now, we continue more of the tournament, folks. More teams too. I've been on the American side because on Monday, and I should mention too, by the way, folks. The the round of 16, back in February 10th on Dynamite. Again, Leo Hirsch versus Thunder Rosa, with Thunder Rosa going over. Uh, Japanese side, February 15th on YouTube was the four round tournaments that feature those from the women's side. I mean the Japanese side, I meant to say, excuse me. Again, we're chance to Yuko Sakazaki going over on Mia Shuroka, excuse me. Mia Shuroka. Then with Emmy Sakura going over on Veni. Um Rio Mizunami going over on Akihito. And Aja Khan going over on Rin Kadukura to go to the quarterfinals. Then we get to um oh yeah, like I said before, with Trinity Deep and Rio. from February 17th on Dynamite, American side. The other one's from American side, February 22nd on YouTube. And I'll get to one Japanese as well. But the one from the American side from February 22nd on YouTube was Ty Conti versus Nyla Rose. 8 minutes and 45 seconds it lasted. Nyla Rose was dominating this match, but Ty Conti was facing some comebacks and getting some offense in this match too as well. She really showed a really hard effort in this match, Ty Conti. And that right there, where chance to go up against Nyla Rose, because this isn't the first time they wrestled each other. This is the second time they wrestled each other, and this match was was pretty good. The first match they had was decent, but this match was good, especially with Ty Conti selling, and basically in this match it was basically the whole thing where Ty Conti had met her match because when it's her wrestling on Dark, she always dominated her matches, especially when it's her her diamond matches too, where when she went against Nyla Rose here, yeah, she definitely met her match here. Not that she never met her match with Nyla Rose before, because again they've been in the ring before. And I think to myself, there's no way that Tom, obviously Ty Conti's going to win here, right? She's going to get the win here on Nyla Rose here, right? Nope. Instead, Nyla Rose got the win on Ty Conti with the Beast Bomb. I say to myself, okay, so if she's wait, so Nyla Rose goes over and she's so yeah, she's going to the quarterfinals of it, to face either which unfortunately folks something has changed here, folks. But I'll get time when I get to it. So Nyla Rose is going to win. So there's no way that that Britt Baker was going to beat Nyla Rose unless she cheats to win alongside with Rebel on her side and not Reba, by the way. Or maybe Anna Jay's going to is going to advance in this tournament. Because again, there's no way that Britt Baker is in the tournament and she's not going to win because people are already on her winning the match. I mean, of winning this entire tournament either way. But we'll get to that part later. When it comes to what happened with that whole situation with the whole thing with NJ, because we get to on the other side of the tournament, which is to Japan side. February 22nd, 2021 on YouTube. Yuko Sakazaki versus Emmy Sakura. Lasted 13 minutes and 45 seconds. This was a good match, by the way. Despite you have Emmy Sakura's cheerleaders they were just like Freddie Mercury. They and their trainees, by the way, of Emmy Sakura, and they were beating up on Sakazaki. And in the end, it still didn't matter because Yuka Sakazaki still won the match against Emmy Sakura. And after the match, Emmy Sakura was being a sore loser, going after Sakazaki, along with with her rookies, beating up on her and all that. And who makes the save? The AEW Women's World Champion, Hikaru Shida, who was there. And I know why she was there too, by the way, folks. Hikaru Shida was there to do commentary for the women's for the Japan side for the tournament. That's why she was there. Like okay, that's cool. That she found a way to go to Japan to do this whole thing. So it was cool that she as a doing the protocols of of going overseas from America to Japan because we're still in this pandemic. So there's got to be some ways they do this whole protocols before they for chance to wherever airports wherever so, I don't know all the full details of it, but hey, because she found a way to get there and to do what she got to do there, and that's great. And the fact that she went to help Sakazaki, yeah, it shows that it's this tournament is all about find the best of the best at their at 100% full and healthy, and Hikaru Shida has shown what a true champion she could be in AEW. Now, unfortunately, I think she's gonna lose it though. well, we'll get to that. Eventually. Anyways, um, but yeah, um, then we get to the American side. I can't remember if that was I think the main event was the American side. Can't remember if it was not, but anyways, but at that I'll get to that later. Because the next match was uh Rio Mizunami versus Aja Khan. That match lasted 14 minutes and 40 seconds. Match itself, it was decent. Aja Khan was on the knee, and match itself was, it was all hard hitting, and this led to these two fighting outside the ring, and then it got close to the commentary booth where Aja Khan had uh um Hikaru Shida. Yeah, basically I can't remember how it was done, but basically Rio got hit with a trash can that she brought with her during before the match and all that. I think that's her thing. Whatever, I don't know. I don't remember if that was supposed to be the case or not, um but Aja Khan did that and all that to Rio and Hikaru Shida where she could have been the factor of Rio losing the match here. So as we get close to or we're getting close to a count where Ajakon was actually going to win here, but Rio comes back, and takes out Ajakon, and then she ends up getting in the ring, and Ajakon didn't beat the count, and Rio means Mizunami wins the match, so she advances to the semifinals to go up against Yuka Sakazaki, which that will be a match that's going to be saved on the Sunday on February 28th on Bleachers Report. uh, so yeah, I was shocked with that outcome. I couldn't believe it. So yeah, that was I thought that was clever there. And then we get to the main event of the tournament thing. Which is to on basically on YouTube from February 22nd, 2021. So back to the market side here. Anna J. Unfortunately, she was not in the match, folks, because for those who don't know, Anna J was pulled out of the tournament because of a shoulder injury. Now, based on her shoulder injury, and let me first say this. I don't know how it happened. All I can remember is that MJ made once talk about her shoulder injuries in the past. I don't know how long ago that was, but she talked about it on Chris Jericho's podcast because she was on Paul Jericho's podcast. About I think it's a month ago, whatever, or 2 months ago. Can't remember. I'm assuming it's a month ago. That she had a nagging injury on her shoulder at one point. I didn't know how serious it was until we get to the point here where she's been replaced, and I'll get to her replacement once I get to it. But Anna Jay, she's got the shoulder injury that she needs to get surgery for, and I don't know if she already got the surgery right already or when it's gonna happen. But Anna Jay's gonna be gone, and when I heard about the reports that she's gonna be gone, I couldn't believe how long it's gonna be. I see myself. I just hope it's not that serious because I'm wondering how the shoulder injury even happened in the first place because she hasn't been wrestling for that much. And on top of that, how that happened? It happened during when she was training, in the middle of her training. I don't know, but all I do know is that we don't know the full details. We don't know the full details of it yet, but the details is that when she gets that surgery done, she's gonna be gone for unfortunately for the next 6 to 12 months. This shoulder injury that she's got, it must be the rotator cuff. The rotator cuff must be the damage of her shoulder injury. It's what it's gonna take her out for that long, and it sucks, folks. It fucking sucks because Anna Jay was ready to come on her own here. You know, after being part of the Dark Order, the Queen Slayer '99. you know. And then the whole thing with her being with Ty Conti, the Ty J tag team and all. And then that happened with Brody Lee Jr. I mean Brody Lee. For not Brody Lee Jr. Brody Lee, the father. Brody Lee. With her going, she's got finally be going places and all that. And then this happens. Unbelievable. I do wish her well though. Hope for speed recovery. Hoping nothing bad's happen. Lean up to that. She's gonna be missed. She's gonna be missed right now. Um, with just not being in action and all that, and it makes me wonder why. That's why she wasn't on this week's episode of BTE. She's probably gonna get that surgery. She probably gonna go get that surgery. That's part of why. I don't know. I don't know if that was the case or not, but yeah, it really sucks, folks. All we can do now is wish MJ a speedy recovery. Now, as far as who's her replacement was, now you think about MJ being gone, you'll have someone who's pretty good in the ring, and who could hold her own in the wrestling ring, right? And not make things look awkward. Like for example, someone like a Connie King, maybe have her be in the tournament, to take MJ's place, or maybe Alex Gracia to be in the tournament as well, or maybe like a Danny Jordan who could fit that role as well, or maybe a Tesha Price, someone that could actually can meet some in this tournament. Did AEW go with any of those women's? Nope. Instead, they went with someone that I do not like in there at all, and Mandy Runkowski. Mandy Runkowski. I see myself, why her? She sucks. Are you kidding me? Of all people that AEW replaced NJ with, that thinks that they could fit that role the best, they chose Mandy Runkowski. I was not impressed with her when I first saw her, and after this match against Dr. Britt Baker DMD, still not impressed with her. I don't care if she was selling that she couldn't come back to Britt Baker and all that. She sucks. She is garbage. The fact that she's even in AW wrestling for them is a joke. And the fact that this Rose is also is helping one of these girls to get better in wrestling. Well, guess what? It ain't working because she still sucks. She's just as bad as Billy Kay is bad in WWE. And if you ask me if how I watch wrestle, I love Mandy Rakowski and Brandy Rose. Give me Brandy Rose. Brandy Rose sucks too, but at least she's a better wrestler than Mandy Rakowski. And on top of that, Brandy Rose doesn't look awkward like Mandy Rakowski does. And you know who else was awkward too? Billy Kay. So how this match came about? So Mandy Rakowski came out. She gets attacked from behind by Britt Baker. The assault continues after that. Um, so basically, Mandy was getting her ass kicked by Britt Baker throughout the entire time beating before the match, and then once the match finally began, and that's the 5 minutes and 15 seconds by the way. Uh, even though they NJ was replaced by Mandy Rakowski, there was no way they would have Rakowski win the match either way. You know, and shortly we get to the match coming to an end with Rakowski losing by submission. The what's called again, the lockjaw. Um, I can't remember how awkward. Oh yeah, when Mandy Rakowski was doing some moves onto Britt Baker, it looked awkward as fuck, and some moves didn't look right. It looked like it wasn't hit on time. Like yeah. I was, even when when she's trying to make some comebacks and everything, it still look bad. She's garbage. Why she's even wrestler in the first place is beyond me. Unbelievable. And that's who AEW chose to replace Anna Jay. Bullshit. But it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, Britt Baker goes to the quarterfinals and she's going to get Nyla Rose. I think to myself, wait a minute, why are we gonna have this on this match going on? Now I get it, they wanted things to make it look like it's organic, but you expect me to believe that Britt Baker's gonna beat Nyla Rose. Now we know Britt Baker's gonna win here, without a shadow of a doubt here, but you expect us to believe that Nyla Rose is gonna lose to Britt Baker, and apparently this match is gonna happen also on February 28th on Breacher's Report, along with the other match that's gonna happen too between Sakazaki and Rio Mizunami. So, which is again on the Sunday, but yeah, there you go. But like, wow, whatever. And that was it for the brackets of the tournament, folks. Yeah, so basically we got two more. I mean, not two more, three more matches to go before we get to the finals of who's going to be in the finals. I'm excited to see Thunder Rosa versus Riho, folks. I can't wait to see this match at all. Yo, that's gonna be on February 24th. Uh, obviously, as this recording, obviously that's today. But I'm still looking forward to see this match, folks. Thunder Rosa versus Riho. Now, obviously, Thunder Rosa is going over. Obviously, I don't see Riho going over on Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa is basically going to destroy Riho, and Riho's going to try her best to make some offense and some comebacks and all that. But at the end of the day, it's going to be Thunder Rosa going over. But still excited to see the match though. I'm not excited to see Thunder Rosa. I mean, not Thunder Rosa. I'm not excited to see Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker wrestling though, because I really don't see anything this make any sense at all. Unless Britt Baker was the face at the time, at that I can care for. Because Larry Rose is a heel, and Britt Baker at one point she was a face, and you can be careful about that one at one point. But with those two being heels, especially Britt Baker being a heel, um, I I had zero interest of this thing between Larry Rose and Britt Baker. But I'll still watch it though, because at the end of the day, it's about who's going to become the contender to face Hikaru Shida at Revolution for the AEW Women's World Title. So, and also, I'm excited to see these two women's Japanese women's wrestlers go at each other as well. Or you've got Sakazaki and Rio Mizunami. So there you go. And that will conclude, folks, your recaps and updates of the AEW Women's World Championship Eliminator Tournament. And I was continuing with Dynamite, the wrestling show. Orange Cassidy being accompanied by Chuck Taylor. He goes up against Dr. Luther, who's being accompanied by Serpentico. And Orange Cassidy gets the win. I don't know why this match had to happen. I don't get why this match has to happen. This serves no point because what happened to Miro and Kip Sabian from before, everyone was dumb. When they supposed to get back at Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor for what they did at the wedding, what happened with that? Did we also we forget about also now we're not gonna go get back to that whole point? I don't know. It, I don't get why it's so purpose at all with this whole thing. All right, let's get to something important here. Team Taz comes out. Not all of them though. Which is Taz, Hook, and Brian Cage. There was no Ricky Starks. There was no Powerhouse Hobbs. Why? I don't remember. But they called out. Now here's the thing too, by the way. Sting was supposed to come out to call out Team Taz. Instead, they decided to do the other way around and had Team Taz call out Sting. Okay, so Sting comes out. He got the baseball bat in hand, and Taz basically tells him, step in this ring and all that, and it'll be the worst thing you ever do. And then he says, um, with that bat of yours, basically without that bat of yours, you're done. And basically reminds what they did to Darby Allin and everything. So Sting drops the bat. He throws his he also takes off his dress coat. Goes to Brian Cage and everything. Goes to Brian Cage and all that. And like, oh, Sting can move pretty well. Being up to an age, he's still move pretty well. And Hook comes out of nowhere. you know, I mean, he was there. He goes after Sting with the baseball bat, choking him, but Sting fights back. Brad Cage gets after him and gives him one hell of a powerbomb to Sting. And I said to myself, yep, Sting's good. He's good to go. The whole thing with his neck issues from back in 2015. There you go. Sting's fine. But yeah, I was happy to see that. So Sting took a bump, and I thought that was great, and that was it. That was it for that. Hey, regional Sting could take a bump now, and yeah, and to all people, Brian Cage did it. Backstage, we see Eddie Kingston says that he requests the match because basically the match that he's referring to is Eddie Kingston, the Butcher and the Blade versus Lance Archer, Jon Moxley, and Ray Phoenix. Saying that Ray Phoenix is a waste of space and says that he never wanted his family in the first place. Yeah, we know that for sure. Talk about how Jon Moxley he's the demon that he needs to get rid of. And I can't remember what he said about Lance Archer. Either way, he wants to get rid of his three demons. That's he's he's got to deal with. Yeah, there you go. That's what to say about that. And that ends up being the main event, and we'll get to that later. Kenny Omega, he visits some kids at school, and I think to myself, why? What was the point of this? So before we get to that point, probably folks, I was watching the show when Jim Ross was saying we'll get to Kenny Omega and everything about visiting the school to rain sun to the kids. And Jim Ross literally referred Kenny Omega as the WWE champion. Just a few seconds for all that got to sink in about what was said there. Kenny Omega, the WWE champion. And Jim Ross obviously he you know he got made fun of because of that. And he said, it's live TV, it's stuff like that happens. You know, he is right. But imagine that one. Can you imagine? If Kenny Omega would have went to WWE, he would have been a WWE champion. I don't know. It's hard to say. But one can imagine. That's wishful thinking. But about my reaction to it is like, wait a minute, did you also say that Kenny Omega is the WWE champion? Did I hear that right? Unless I'm hearing it wrong, and then obviously afterwards, that was accurate. But anyways, yeah, that's basically that's basically a Botch Man moment there. I'm pretty sure that everyone's gonna enjoy, especially the WWE fanboys are gonna have ammo for that one too. Go back to this. So the AEW champion, Kenny Omega, was raised to the kids, at school, the Young Bucks book, killing the business. And they ask questions and everything and all that. And then Omega puts himself over by about his feud with Jericho at the Tokyo Dome, wherever, and blah blah blah. And that was basically it. Don Callis and Michael Nakazawa was there too, by the way. And Omega was going to leave at this point. Um, One of the kids asked him if he played with them, and Don Callis said, "Oh, I'm sorry, Omega can't do that. He's busy and everything. But Michael Nakazawa can play with you guys." And then the kids started beating him up and everything, and that was it. This served no purpose at all, folks. I didn't get why this had to happen. Um, I really didn't care for this at all. I don't know what to say after this. To me, it was a waste of time. Just like the Orange Cassidy and the Luther match was a waste of time too. That's just me. Okay, AEW World Tag Team Championships. Proud and powerful. Santana Ortiz representing the Inner Circle, also being covered by the Inner Circle as well. Versus the AEW, World Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. So the match happens. First, it's a pretty decent. Also, we get some outside involvement from MJF, which led to the referee kicking out all the Inner Circle out there. And I was like, wait a minute, why does everybody else have to leave because of what MJF did? No, because the rest of the Inner Circle didn't do anything. It was Jericho, Hager, and Warlow. MJF tried to get involved, and he gets kicked out along with the rest of the Inner Circle by the referee. And obviously they get pissed off because of that. Not MJF though. They get pissed off at the referee. I was saying, so why get pissed off at the referee for? Uh, get pissed off at MJF for even try to get involved in the first place. And, and basically getting caught too. So as that happened, they went to commercial break. After commercial break, this is where the match starts picking up here. A lot of great moves they were doing. A lot of spots they were doing was great too as well. And then we get to the finish. Um, so Ortiz and Santana were getting the better of the Young Bucks. Matt Jackson was taken out from the barricade. Also, and also, yeah, Kenny Omega, the Good Brothers, Don Callis backstage watching on the monitor and all that. And the way they were watching the monitor too, I seemed so, oh my god, this is WWE level bullshit they were doing. Like, come on, the standard, the same position they were at and all that. It was so WWE like they were doing. Like, oh my god, I hated that. But anyways, but as the match is still going on and everything. Like I said, Ortiz getting the better of Matt Jackson on the outside. He get back in the ring, and then Nick Jackson catches him with an inside cradle, and 1, 2, 3. And like I knew it, I knew they was going to lose. Despite them having the tag titles match for the like uh folks, there's no hate between the Young Bucks and the team of Jericho and MJF leading into a revolution. There's heat between the inner circle because of what's going on that whole situation, and the fact that Santana Ortiz couldn't win the belts. That way, that could have been the match at Revolution with Jericho and MJF versus Power and Powerful. Inner circles wrestle each other. That was a missed opportunity there. They decided to go with Young Bucks instead to still be tag team champions. Why? Because to continue the storylines between the dissensions of the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega with the Young Bucks. And Don Callis is being the puppet master, and and treating these guys like puppets. So Air Storm comes out to beat up on the Young Bucks. So Omega wants to help, but Dark stops him and tells Good Brothers, Good Brothers, go, you go help them. So Good Brothers go out there, except for one thing. Good Brothers didn't come out there first. You know who came out there first? Brandon Cutler. He came out there first, but he gets destroyed by Jake Hager on the stage. And I said, so okay, where are the Good Brothers? Where are they? So they came out finally, and the Air Circle left. But the way it was done too, like, oh my god, this was so trash, garbage. Oh my god, oh my god, terrible, terrible, a terrible save. It reminds me of the Sandman from House of Hardcore. Going, taking a long ass time, because his music playing, enter the Sandman, you know, having fun with the fans and everything, drinking beer and all that, posting for the fans and all that and everything. A long time to get in the ring to save Terry Funk and Tommy Dreamer of the assault of the Dudley Boys. Terrible. Except this was worse. These guys are not past their primes. These guys are still in their primes. The Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows, taking a long ass time. And why they took a long ass time? Well, they explained why on BTE this past Monday. Because they went to take a shit. They literally took a restroom break. Doc Gallows went to the men's room. Meanwhile, Carl Anderson went to the women's room. This ain't the Good Brothers from New Japan Pro Wrestling. This ain't the Good Brothers of Nola being of from Bullet Club. This is the Good Brothers of the stitch that was left from WWE, and they have not gone away from that. They're still being treated like a joke, despite no longer being in WWE anymore. Because the stench they have from WWE is still there. Trash. Oh yeah, here we go, folks. Brandy Rose appear on the screen to announce, they're going to reveal, the sex of the baby that she and Clay was going to be having. And all of a sudden, um, all of a sudden, Brandy Rose and Clay Rose comes out. And so, wait a minute, Brandy Rose is there. Okay. And all of a sudden they reveal that it's a girl. Now, Clay Rose didn't know, by the way, folks, about this whole thing. That Brandy Rose, Clay Rose didn't know, he doesn't know if it's gonna be a boy or a girl. So on that night, now he knows it was a girl. I'm like, okay, they could at least told us on the screen instead of having them coming out there and do this whole thing and reveal it on, by coming out there. Because to me, it was a waste of time. I don't care about their announcement to make it, let us know if it's gonna be a boy or a girl, on, by coming on the stage. They could just told us on the Tavachon. What was the point of it? What was the point of this? To stroke their egos. Brandy Rose has got an ego, and so does Curry Rose. Brandy Rose got the ego because she's married. She's married to a Rose. Curry Rose got an ego because Curry Rose is the vice president, and on top of that, he's a Rose. A waste of everyone's time. But at the same time, congratulations. It's a girl. Congratulations. I go off my TV, Brandy Rose. Now, I believe Kurt Rose was on commentary during this match because the next match was FTR, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood. No Terry Batcher for a reason. I don't know why there was no Terry Batcher. They went up against the Sydal brothers. Yeah, that's right. Matt Sydal's got a brother, which I didn't even know he even had a brother. But it's Matt and Mike Sydal. And I see myself, who the hell is Mike Sydal? Like, how come I never heard from him before? Because apparently he's been around. You know, he's been in Ring of Honor. He's been in other promotions as well. I like, well, this is new to me. I never knew who Max Sydal was beforehand. But he exists, and I gotta say, I was impressed of him. The Sydal brothers versus FTR, that was a good match. And in the end, FTR won the match with the big rig onto Mike Sydal. After the match, the FTR went to get the Clippers to cut the hair of Mike Sydal, because Mike Sydal's got long hair and everything. Basically, because his hair, like they did cutting the horns off of Luchasaurus's mask. All of a sudden, the Cybertron, first lights out first. Then they get to cut the hair. And the screen pops up of the Luchasaurus mask, whatever, something like that. And then Jurassic Express comes out. Basically, Luchasaurus got a new mask and everything. I said to myself, that's not a new mask. That's his original mask that he used to wear from you know from Lucha Underground. Not the first, not the classic mask that he wore, but that was the mask that he wore back in Lucha Underground. The one that that he decided to do the upgrade of it during Lucha Underground. I said to myself, he's got playing masters of that. So yeah, it's stupid, folks. It was fucking stupid. But FTR, they I don't remember they got beef or whatever, but they basically retreated, and that was it. And it's announced on March 3rd, Tully Blanchard will return in the ring for the first time since 2007 as he teams with FTR going against Jurassic Express. So it's gonna be a 6-man tag team match. So there you go. Then we get to Jon Moxley. Okay, Jon Moxley took from about he will whip Eddie Kingston's ass so many times until he realized that the only one here that cares about Eddie Kingston is Jon Moxley. And then he says to Kenta, okay, and then I thought to myself, okay, I was on this episode that he said to Kenta, not on Dark. He says that to Kenta, he's gonna break his neck. Basically, threatening to break his neck and everything. He's gonna break his neck on February 6th after he will shut all sons of bitches down to get to Kenny Omega because he wants that title belt back from Kenny Omega. And then we see the main event between Eddie Kingston, the Butcher, and the Blade being accompanied by the Bunny as they go up against Jon Moxley, Lance Archer, and Rey Fenix, all being accompanied by Jake the Snake Roberts. And by the way, Dory Funk Jr., the legendary Dory Funk Jr., was at ringside. I mean, not ringside. He was there, sitting, in the crowd, watching this match. Like, great. I can't believe he's there. I would also love to see Dory Funk there too. But hey, Dory Funk Jr., man, he's right there too. Now, that's so good match, good main event match. I enjoyed it. It's pretty damn good. All guys were great, especially the Butcher. But in the end, it was Jon Moxley getting the win, and basically getting the win for his team. And yeah, so Moxley, Finks, and Archer won the match. After the match, the Good Brothers went to attack Moxley. I don't know what happened with Archer and Phoenix afterwards. But basically, the Good Brothers came out there to attack Moxley, and then Omega comes out. It says this is what he had to say. He's in a given mood. He says to Moxley that he's got to rematch a Revolution, but he's going to name the stipulation. Omega is, and he says he's gonna he's because no matter how hard he tries, he wants to Moxley always keeps coming back and everything, right? Well, he wants to make sure in this type of match he never comes back. So basically he challenges Moxley for the AEW World Championship title match to happen in a exploding barbed wire death match. And when I heard that, I'm like, what? You tell me that's the match they're gonna be doing at Revolution. The exploding barbed wire death match that Japan has known for, Japanese wrestling has known for. Even Japanese women's has been in these type of matches before. Folks, this match is more extreme than any match that you ever see on American soil. Working some TLC matches, Hell in a Cell matches, Elimination Chamber matches, and I'm talking about the new upgrades from 2016. I'm talking about the original ones from 2002 all the way to whenever they last did Elimination Chamber, which I'm assuming is 2015. That classic Elimination Chamber. But anyways, the point is, or any other type of matches that they do, like hardcore matches and everything, or even ECW hardcore matches, even the bar wire matches that they have in Terry fucking and Sabu. I'm talking about matches like this, exploding bar wire death match. This match is one of the most sickest matches that you will ever see. Um, that's never been done. And um, and I'm again, this might not even happen any Nazis before. Um, it might have been. I just haven't look up too much of it. But when you type in on matches like this, exploding barbed wire death match, all these matches always it happens. All these matches that you know that's been featured has been all been featured in Japan because that they it's that type of match it's this type of match they can get away with. You know, I don't know if that's going to include here as well, but I think it will. Since you know it's been agreed to and been it's not possible. I think it's gonna now. I'll, I'm assuming it's that's just gonna lead to you know unless they want to do something differently with an exploding barbed wire death match. I don't know, but we'll see. Hopefully, it's like the one they do in Japan, where yeah, it's the most sickest matches you ever see. And for those who's not familiar with it, you will be familiar with it once you get ready to see this match happen at Revolution. So that match has been announced. Moxley, in response, gives Omega a headbutt, which had Omega drew blood a little bit, not too much, but in the end, Omega came out with series of V triggers, and that was it. And there you go, folks. And that will include the AW direct results. And on top of that, with the updates and recaps of what happened with the women's tournaments. You know, and there you go, folks. But man, exploding barbed wire death match. Holy cow! I cannot wait for that match. So, talking about wrestling for AEW Dynamite from February 17th, 2021. 7 matches. Wait, was it 7 matches? Oh, I could swear it was 6 matches. Oh, let me double check, folks. I'm sorry. All right, let's see. Okay, 6 matches. Yeah, I got it wrong, folks. My apologies. 6 matches. Overall strength for the show. Uh, let's see. I don't remember if I went for an 8.5 or 9 out of 10, which is to being on the show with the rest of the panels of the Asylum for last week. But I'm gonna give it an. I will give it 8.5 out of 10, just in case. But yeah, another good show. I thought it was, and that will include the All Elite Wrestling reviews. Now, if you excuse me, folks, I'll be right back. I'm gonna do a proper closing of the show. So I'll be right back. Stay tuned. And that will include your all elite wrestling reviews, folks, of AEW Dark from February 16th, 2021, and of AEW Dynamite results from February 17th, 2021, and pertains to the AEW Women's World Championship turn, uh, Eliminator Tournament, meant to say, of 2021. And there you go. Where it pertains to basically where it pertains to that whole recaps and updates and everything, especially what happened with Emma J. Um, but yeah, there you go, folks. No plugs other than all you do. Thank you for watching, and be sure you all stay well, stay safe, take care of yourself if that's going in the world. Wear your mask before you wear your what type of gloves you want to wear, or just rubber gloves or leather gloves or all these type of furry gloves, whatever. Make sure you hand sanitize your hands first. Even beforehand, and even when you go outside, whatever and everything, you do decide to take off your clothes and all that, and you go to one of these you know or stores you want to go to or markets or either markets, whatever. Either way, always hand sanitize your hands and all that beforehand. This whole pandemic thing has yes, it's still getting out of hand, of which is unfortunate, but yeah, make sure you do all that. And yeah, um, and yeah, also I want you all to love one another, God bless one another, and live in peace and harmony for us all. And before I am out here, talking for now, for it's not your born thriller, saying peace on the streets. You all take care.